Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me for exam study secret tip number 39. And now this is on the day of the exam. You are now sitting for the exam, and there's certain secrets or techniques that you need to know because this can determine how well you are going to perform on the exam. Remember, you've studied for the past few weeks or the few months, and now everything. The past 6 months of study or the past 1 year of study. Imagine you study for the entire year, and the next 3 hours are going to determine whether that entire year is wasted or not. Imagine 3 hours will determine what you've done in the entire year. So your exam technique is very important because this can make you or this can break you, right? So exam technique number one, read through the entire paper before you start. You must read the paper from question number one to the last question. And why this is important is because your brain is very powerful. But your brain has got so much information that your brain needs to compartmentalize its knowledge. So let us say, for example, you're doing a biology exam. So you look at the cover of the paper and you say biology exam. Your brain already opens the shelves. Your brain has got a library inside itself. So the minute you read this is a biology exam, your brain is now gathering all the information for biology, and you say, okay, how long is the exam? You say, okay, it's 3 hours. And how many marks? You say, okay, 300 marks for this exam. Already your brain is working. Then you read through question number one. You must read through it. Spend about 10 minutes initially. You read through question one. Don't worry whether you can answer it or not. Then you go through question two. Read all the questions up to the last one. Read through it very quickly. Don't panic if you don't know anything. The reason why you must read through the exam paper is because your brain is starting to work on the answer. That's very important because you've got a conscious brain, which is about 20% of your brain, but 80% of your brain is your subconscious brain. And this is where all the information is sitting. So when you read a particular question, even if you don't know the answer, by the time you read through and the time you come to the end of the exam, your brain has already collected all the data because your brain has got a built-in algorithm. Your brain is collecting all the data. So when you finish, come to the last page, you now come to the first page again to start writing your answers. Your brain will automatically start giving you the answers because your brain is now starting to work on it. So while you are writing answer number one, your brain is now focusing on question number 11 because you're worried about question number 11. And you're saying, maybe I don't know the answer. And anything that you're concerned about, your brain is already finding a solution for question number 11 while you're still writing the answer to question number 1. And by the time you come to question number 11, you'll say, hey, I remember this. And you'll start writing the answers. So it's very important to know this technique. Take 10 minutes, read through the entire paper so your brain starts working on the answers. Go back to question number 1 and start filling in the answers, right? Plan your time. Very important. Take a calculator with you, take a watch with you, and say how many marks do you have, how many questions do I have, and how many minutes I have. And at the end of the paper, always leave behind 20 minutes. Don't count that 20 minutes in your exam time. So if you've got 120 minutes to finish the exam, only assume you've got 100 minutes. Don't count that 20 minutes. And then those 100 minutes, you divide it by the number of questions you have, right? And at the end, you come back to that 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and then you fill in all the gaps. And start with the easy questions first. That will make you feel so good because if 80% of the questions are easy, already your brain will tell you, you know what, I think I've passed this exam. Your brain will tell you already, okay, I've passed. Then the other small questions, you don't then panic about it, right? So that's very important. Start with the easy questions. Start with the ones that you know what, I can smash that question. That one is so easy, I'm going to knock it out of the park. I'm going to get my distinction on that question, right? So start with the easy questions first. Write clear, concise answers. Please, Mansa, read the question clearly. Make sure you understand the question. Some people, they just read the first word. They say, write clear, and then they start writing. But that's not what the examiner wants. That's not what your teacher is asking. You may know the answer, but you're not answering the question. You may know the entire chapter of the book, but if you haven't read the question properly, you haven't answered the question. So please make sure that you read the question clearly, you understand what the examiner expects from you, you write it down, you give your supporting points as to why you are giving that particular answer. Then you've got your 20 minutes at the end. So review your answers, not if time permits, you must make time for yourself. Give yourself 20 minutes, go through the entire exam paper again very quickly, fill up all the blanks, and in this way, you can have a competitive edge against other people who don't follow these exam secrets or these exam techniques. And one day, inshallah, before you know it, you'll be getting your qualification, you'll be getting your degree, and your whole family will be happy for you. And if you are an adult learner, your children and grandchildren will then celebrate with you. You say, hey, grandma has got a degree, or hey, grandpa or nanape has got a degree or a qualification. Wow. So this is something that we can all look forward to. It doesn't matter how old you are. Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, at the age of 64, I obtained another qualification. So even though I'm 65 years old, I'm giving hope to you as a learner. If you are 20 years old or 30 years old or 40 years old, it's not too late. If you are 40 years old, can you imagine you can still go to medical school if you are 40 years old? By the time you are 47 years old, you can be a doctor. If you don't do anything, your life will continue like as if nothing has happened. So don't underestimate what you can do with your life. Right? It's never too late to start learning. Stay well, stay focused. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.